Welcome to our channel. What if your spare change held a secret worth thousands? Let's uncover the most sought-after Washington quarters and see why they're making headlines in the collecting world. Make sure to watch the complete video, you won't want to miss the incredible stories and surprising values coming up next. Let's get started. What if I told you that one of the most valuable coins in America today might already be sitting in your change jar? No, not some ancient, centuries-old relic locked away in a museum. I'm talking about a simple quarter from 1991. It doesn't shine like gold, and it wasn't made in a limited run. In fact, over 630 million of them were struck. Yet, there's something extraordinary about one particular version of this coin that has stunned collectors and auction houses alike. Let's rewind to 1991. The Cold War had officially ended, Americans were adjusting to life after the Gulf War, and technology was on the cusp of something big. While the world was moving ahead, the Denver Mint was producing everyday coins. And among them was the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter has been around since 1932. It was created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, and the design has stayed remarkably consistent. It's one of the most familiar coins in America, an eagle on the reverse, Washington's profile on the front. Most people never think twice about it, but sometimes, hidden in plain sight, an ordinary object becomes extraordinary. That's the story behind the 1991 D Washington Quarter. The D stands for Denver, where this version of the quarter was minted. It's a tiny letter, easily overlooked. In 1991, the Denver Mint struck over 630 million of these quarters. So what makes one of them so special? Here's where the story takes a turn. Coins are mass-produced. They go through massive presses and fast-moving machinery. Errors happen. Most are caught and melted down. But every now and then, something slips through, something rare, something valuable. That's what happened in 1991 at the Denver Mint. In the world of coin collecting, everything comes down to condition, rarity, and historical interest. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. Anything 60 and above is mint state, meaning it's never been in circulation. The higher the number, the rarer the coin. A mint state 65 is impressive. A mint state 67 is exceptional. A mint state 68. That's the kind of coin that sparks bidding wars. Most 1991 D quarters went straight into circulation. They were pocket change, dropped on sidewalks, traded for candy bars, and forgotten. Finding one in pristine condition is already a challenge. But that's only part of the puzzle. Some of these quarters show signs of something called a double die reverse. This is a rare error during the minting process where the die strikes the coin slightly off register. The result? A design that looks like it has a ghost image, doubled letters, overlapping details. This kind of error is extremely rare. And collectors go wild for them. Why? Because error coins offer a unique moment in history. They're accidents that reveal how the mint works, and how it sometimes doesn't. And when you combine a rare error with a coin in nearly flawless condition, that's numismatic gold. One such 1991 D quarter surfaced. It had never been circulated. Its surfaces were nearly flawless. And it bore the rare double die reverse. This wasn't just a quarter. It was an unintentional masterpiece. After being certified by a top grading agency and receiving a near-perfect mint state grade, the coin was auction-ready. When it hit the auction block, collectors knew what they were looking at. This was history, rare, perfect, and dramatic. As bids rolled in, the price climbed fast. What began as a humble coin worth just 25 cents was now something else entirely. But hold on to that thought, because here's the part that should really excite you. There could still be more of these coins out there. Maybe not in perfect condition, maybe not with such a dramatic error, but they exist. You might have one right now. And if you know what to look for, you could be holding something extraordinary. Start by checking the date, 1991. Look underneath the motto on the obverse side for the letter D. Then flip the coin and study the eagle. Are the wings clear? Do the letters look doubled? Is there a ghost-like effect anywhere in the design? If anything seems unusual, don't spend it. Get it looked at. Reach out to a coin dealer or grading service. Because your change jar might just be holding a story of its own. That's the thrill of coin collecting. It's not just about history. It's about discovery. Every coin has a story, but a few tell a story that changes everything. And now, the moment we've been building to, that rare 1991 D Washington quarter, featuring the unique double die reverse, preserved in mint state condition, didn't just break records. It sold at auction for a stunning $83,000. For a quarter. That's the hidden value behind the most ordinary looking things. And that's why your next treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Next up, let's talk about a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket or tucked away in a drawer at home, the 1990 Washington quarter minted in Denver. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary quarter, one of the millions produced that year. But don't be fooled. This coin has quietly earned a reputation among collectors for being rare and valuable, sometimes worth thousands of dollars. Imagine this, it's 1990. The world is changing, people are adjusting to a new decade, the Cold War is ending, and everyday life is humming along. Meanwhile, the US Mint is quietly producing coins that will travel across the country, from the pockets of kids buying candy to the toll booths of busy highways. Among them is the Denver Mint's version of the Washington quarter, stamped with that small but significant D mint mark. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, featuring the familiar profile of George Washington on the front and the eagle on the back. It's a design so well known that most people don't give it a second thought. But when it comes to coin collecting, the devil is in the details. In 1990, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of these quarters. Each one carries that tiny D mint mark that shows where it was made, a small but important detail for collectors. While most of these quarters went into everyday circulation and became worn and dull, a few survived in almost perfect condition. These uncirculated coins, along with a handful that show unique minting characteristics, are the ones collectors seek. What makes some 1990 D quarters so special? It's a mix of condition, rarity, and sometimes, minting errors that slip through the quality control. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they've never been used in transactions, can be worth much more than their face value. And when paired with errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, the value increases significantly. The 1990 D quarter, in particular, is known among collectors for having some interesting variations. These aren't obvious to the casual eye but can include doubled lettering or slight misalignments on the coin's design. Coins with these features are considered rare and often highly prized. It's worth understanding the minting process to truly appreciate these coins. Each quarter begins as a small blank metal disc called a planchet, which is then struck with engraved dies bearing the coin's design. This process requires precision, but even the most careful mints can produce slight errors, creating unique varieties that collectors prize. Now, here's where things get exciting. Imagine holding in your hand a 1990 D quarter that looks like it was just struck yesterday, sharp lines, full details, and a surface that still shines with original mint luster. These coins are like time capsules, preserving a moment from over 30 years ago with stunning clarity. Such coins represent a connection to a moment in American history, a snapshot of 1990 frozen in metal. They tell a story not just about George Washington, but about the people who carried and saved them. They represent the era's technology, economy, and even culture, embodied in a small piece of metal. And because of their scarcity and high-grade condition, some 1990 D quarters are now considered worth thousands of dollars by collectors. This value comes not from the metal itself. The quarter's copper and nickel aren't rare or precious, but from the coin's rarity and condition, and the story behind its minting. A well-preserved 1990 D quarter with certain error features is a prized possession that few collectors have, but what really captures the imagination is how these coins travel through time. Maybe this particular quarter was part of a child's first piggy bank, or it was a lucky charm kept in a wallet for decades. It might have changed hands countless times, yet survived intact, almost as if by fate. Each mark, or lack of one, tells a silent story. Collectors love these coins not just for their value, but because they represent a fascinating blend of history, artistry, and mystery. Each coin carries a unique journey, maybe it was tucked away in a drawer for decades, or carefully saved by a collector, or maybe it slipped through the mint's quality control with an unusual error. The thrill is in the hunt, the discovery, and the story. Coin collecting is a world where patience and a keen eye are rewarded. It's about more than just money, it's about connecting with history and uncovering little surprises hidden in plain sight. So, if you ever find yourself sorting through old coins or inherited collections, take a moment to examine any 1990 quarters you come across. Check the mint mark, study the details closely, and look for any signs of doubling or unusual marks. Even if the coin looks ordinary, there's a chance it's something special. What makes coin collecting so thrilling is the possibility of discovery. You might think you're just handling everyday change, but beneath the surface lies a world of hidden treasures, coins that tell stories, capture history, and, in rare cases, hold significant value. The 1990 Washington quarter may seem unassuming, but it holds the potential to be a valuable piece of American history. It's worth thousands of dollars to the right collector, especially if it's in excellent condition or shows rare minting quirks. So next time you come across a 1990 quarter, remember, it might be more than just pocket change. It could be a rare treasure worth holding on to. Next rare quarter on our list is the fascinating 1989 Washington quarter minted in Denver, the D mint mark coin that quietly holds a secret world of value and history. At first glance, it's easy to overlook this coin. After all, it's just a quarter, right? But this small piece of metal carries a story that spans decades, connects generations, and has captured the imagination of coin collectors nationwide. Let's set the scene. It's 1989, a pivotal year filled with global change and anticipation. The Cold War, a shadow that loomed for decades, was nearing its end. Across the world, nations were reshaping alliances, and societies were stepping boldly into a new era. In America, people went about their daily lives, with the familiar jingle of quarters exchanging hands at grocery stores, payphones, and vending machines. Among those quarters was the 1989 Denver minted Washington quarter. The U.S. Mint, with its long-standing tradition, produced millions of these coins. The quarter itself has a design deeply rooted in American identity. The obverse features George Washington's profile, a symbol of leadership and freedom, designed originally in 1932 by John Flanagan. The reverse displays a majestic eagle, a timeless emblem of strength and independence, but here's where it gets interesting. While most of these quarters entered general circulation, acquiring scratches and wear over time, a small percentage were preserved in near-perfect condition or contain unique minting variations. These variations and conditions are what give the 1989 quarter its allure in the numismatic community. Now, why does the mint mark matter so much? The D tells us the coin was minted in Denver, one of the U.S. Mint's key production facilities. Each mint uses its own mark, and coins from different mints can vary in rarity and desirability. For collectors, the Denver quarters from 1989 offer a compelling mix of commonality and potential rarity, depending on condition and specific characteristics. What elevates some of these quarters to collectors' treasures? First, there's condition. Coins graded as mint state or uncirculated have never been used in everyday transactions. They retain the sharpness of their original strike, the fine lines in Washington's hair, the feathers on the eagle's wings, even the texture on the coin's rim, but condition alone isn't the whole story. The 1989 quarter is also known among collectors for subtle but fascinating minting errors. These can include double dies, where certain design elements appear twice due to a misalignment during the striking process. Other errors might be slight off-center strikes, or tiny die cracks running through the coin's surface. These flaws add uniqueness and rarity, turning a simple coin into a prized collectible. Imagine the coin as a frozen moment, a snapshot of American history struck by metal presses in Denver on a particular day over 30 years ago. Each one traveled a unique journey. Maybe it was saved as a keepsake in a family collection. Maybe it was forgotten in a jar for decades, its value unnoticed. Or perhaps it slipped through the mint's quality control with an unusual feature, only later to be discovered by an eagle-eyed collector. Collectors don't just seek these quarters for their financial value, they hunt for the connection to history, the thrill of discovery, and the beauty of the coin itself. Holding a pristine 1989 quarter is like holding a piece of the past, tangible and real, linking the present to a moment frozen in time. The minting process itself is a marvel of precision and art. Each quarter starts as a blank metal disc called a planchet, carefully weighed and polished. Then it's struck with engraved steel dies bearing the designs of Washington and the eagle. This process requires exact pressure and alignment. Yet, as with all machines, imperfections happen, which creates those rare and valuable minting errors collectors cherish. It's fascinating to consider the thousands of hands this coin may have passed through, children saving allowances, commuters paying tolls, cashiers giving change. Yet despite this, some quarters emerge unblemished, preserved as if untouched by time. These coins become treasures not only for their rarity but for the stories they carry silently within their metallic surfaces. If you happen to find a 1989 D quarter that shows clear details, retains its original luster, or exhibits any of these rare minting characteristics, you could be holding a coin that's worth thousands of dollars. The value of such coins varies, but expert collectors estimate that these quarters fall within an impressive range, from around $84,000 to $93,000, depending on their condition and rarity. What's truly remarkable is how such a humble coin, made mostly of copper and nickel, can command such respect and value. It's a testament to the power of history, rarity, and the passion of collectors who breathe life into these small pieces of metal, and the community surrounding coin collecting is passionate and ever-growing. Collectors often spend years studying, trading, and searching for these special coins. There's a camaraderie among them, a shared excitement when someone finds a rare minting error or an uncirculated gem. This culture adds even more value beyond the coin's monetary worth. So next time you stumble upon a 1989 D Washington quarter, whether digging through a change jar, inherited collection, or thrift store find, take a moment. Examine it carefully. Look for that D mint mark. Check for sharp details or any unusual features. This could be more than pocket change, it might be a rare and valuable treasure. Coin collecting is a journey full of surprises, stories, and moments of excitement. It's about appreciating history in your hands and uncovering gems that connect us to the past. The 1989 Denver quarter is one such gem, unassuming but remarkable. Last rare and valuable coin. Now, we are moving to one of the most expensive and rare quarters, the 1984 USA $quarter coin. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover why this seemingly ordinary coin hides an extraordinary secret and value that will absolutely surprise you. Let's take a moment to travel back to the year 1984, a fascinating time full of energy, innovation, and cultural shifts. The world was buzzing with new technology, movies like Ghostbusters and The Terminator were lighting up theaters, and music from artists like Michael Jackson was dominating the charts. America was riding a wave of optimism, with Ronald Reagan serving his second term as president. Amid this vibrant backdrop, the Philadelphia Mint was hard at work, producing millions of quarters to fuel everyday commerce across the country. One of those coins was the 1984 $quarter coin, a coin that at first glance might seem completely ordinary. Yet, it's anything but ordinary when you dive deeper. The design on this quarter is part of a long-standing tradition, the Washington quarter, introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. On the front, you see the dignified profile of George Washington, captured beautifully by sculptor John Flanagan. His expression is calm and resolute, symbolizing the leadership and strength that helped build the nation. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the classic eagle with its wings outstretched, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbols of America's readiness for peace but willingness to defend itself. This iconic imagery has been a staple on quarters for decades, representing not just currency but American heritage. So, what sets the 1984 Philadelphia quarter apart from the millions minted that year? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and subtle details that might escape the casual observer. Many quarters end up worn, scratched, and faded after years of use. But some of the 1984 coins were kept in pristine, uncirculated condition. These coins preserve every minute detail, from the fine strands of Washington's hair to the individual feathers on the eagle's wings. The Philadelphia Mint, known for its high-quality strikes, produced coins that year with remarkable sharpness and luster, making the difference between a common coin and a collector's treasure. Collectors especially prize proof coins, which are struck multiple times under special conditions to achieve a mirror-like finish and perfect detail. These proofs are usually kept in protective cases and never enter circulation, making them even rarer and more valuable. Then there are those subtle variations and minting errors that can appear. Perhaps the spacing of the lettering is slightly off, or the rims of the coin vary in thickness. Sometimes, coins have die cracks or doubling effects, small mistakes that actually make them unique. Numismatists love these quirks, as they can significantly increase a coin's value. This coin's story doesn't end at minting. It's fascinating to consider the journey each coin takes, traveling through hands, wallets, and cash registers, sometimes hidden away in collections for decades. Each scratch or gleam tells a part of its history. But the 1984 Philadelphia quarter, when preserved in mint condition, tells a very special story of survival and rarity. Holding a 1984 Philadelphia quarter in top condition is like holding a tangible piece of history. It's a connection to the past, a symbol of an era marked by both progress and tradition. Each coin tells a story, not just about the mint or the man on the coin, but about the countless hands it passed through, the decades it has survived. Collectors don't just collect coins for their monetary value, they collect stories, history, and artistry. And this particular quarter delivers all of that. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. By the end of this video, I'll reveal exactly how much this rare coin can be worth. While many 1984 quarters remain common and worth only face value, the exceptional ones, especially those uncirculated or with unique features, can reach astonishing prices. In fact, the 1984 Philadelphia quarter P coin, in pristine condition, can be valued at an incredible $112,000. Yes, $112,000 for a coin you might have overlooked in your change jar. This jaw-dropping value reflects its rarity, condition, and the keen interest from collectors worldwide. It's a perfect example of how something so small and everyday can be a treasure of immense worth. So next time you find a 1984 quarter, don't just toss it in your pocket or piggy bank. Take a moment to examine it closely. Check the sharpness of the details, the brightness of the finish, and see if it has any unique minting marks. You might be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. Collecting coins like this is about more than just monetary value. It's about preserving history, appreciating craftsmanship, and enjoying the thrill of discovery. The 1984 Philadelphia quarter P coin embodies all these qualities, making it a standout piece for any collector. Thanks so much for joining me on this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future stories and insights about coins that hold incredible histories and values. Remember, sometimes the most ordinary coins hide the most extraordinary secrets, and the 1984 Philadelphia quarter is living proof of that.